today.
Ray Lewis is known as one of the most intense, intimidating, and best defensive players the NFL has ever seen. He was a 13-time Pro Bowler, 7-time first-team All-Pro linebacker, 3-time second-team All-Pro linebacker, 3-time AFC Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Baltimore Ravens, and even 1-time Super Bowl MVP in the year of 2000. The second of his Super Bowl victories coming after he had announced that he was going to retire at the end of that very season. Ray Lewis rode off into the sunset with the Lombardi Trophy in one hand and a Super Bowl ring on the other. Nowadays, we see Ray Lewis on ESPN as an NFL analyst. As you can see, Ray Lewis had a very successful career and is going to continue his success outside of his playing days. The story I'm about to tell you will show you that Ray Lewis, though, is and was not picture perfect, and that may change the way you look at this NFL legend forever. On January 31st, 2000, shortly after Ray Lewis had won his first Super Bowl, and to go with that his first Super Bowl MVP, Ray Lewis decided to rent a limo and head out with friends and some women to a Super Bowl party in an Atlanta nightclub. Two of his friends were Joseph Sweeting, 24, and Reginald Oakley, 31. After a night of fun and celebration, the group were calling it a night and headed back to the limo that was rented by Lewis. It was then that the night took a turn for the worst. It was an ill-fated coincidence that another group had called it a night as well. The group included two young men named Richard Lawler and Jacinth Baker, who were 24 and 21. It's not known exactly what caused this, but the two groups got into an intense altercation. Ray Lewis has gone on record saying that he wanted nothing to do with this and did not want to participate in a fight, even authoring the ridiculous quote, "Remember, I was dressed out, had my jewelry on, my fine mink coat. I wasn't about to start mixing it up looking like that." That's the general rule of thumb. When you're doing the town and looking good, the nicer you're dressed, the less inclined you are to get in a fight. That is, if you're even inclined in that way to begin with. According to Lewis, he pulled his buddies into the limo to try and stop the altercation, and it seemed to have worked for a moment. Soon after, though, the group that Lawler and Baker were in passed the limo on the sidewalk and reignited the confrontation. That's when Lewis's friend Reginald Oakley jumped out of the limo. It was then that the situation got out of hand. Oakley was hit in the head with a bottle of champagne shortly after exiting the limo. Then, quoting Lewis, all hell broke loose at that point. Ray claimed to have stood in the limo the whole time, and from where he was sitting, it looked like it was a frantic fight going on outside. Both Ray and a witness have said that Lewis did not take part in this fight. One witness from the other group, though, claimed that he saw Ray throw a punch, only to take that statement back. Nothing can prove what exactly happened during that fight, but this fight changed the lives of 5 men completely, and 2 of those men would never see the light of day again. Lewis and company fled the crime scene in the limo he had rented. Lewis was quoted telling everyone in the limo to keep their mouths shut and don't say nothing. And later at his hotel, he said, "I'm not trying to end my career like this." That same day, Ray Lewis was arrested under suspicion of first-degree murder with a bail of $1 million. Just like that, the man that had won the Super Bowl MVP just hours earlier, the man who was looked at as a role model by many, was headed to prison. When Lewis was due in court, Ray decided to turn on his friends and come forward as a witness against them in order to cut a plea deal and plead guilty for obstruction of justice to avoid any jail time. He accepted a misdemeanor charge for lying and saying that he was not there in order to be let off for the 2 murder charges. What happened next was even more strange. The prosecution seemed to never be taken very seriously, so much so that Ray never even had to offer a testimony, which could have completely turned this case around. You see, what Ray Lewis was prepared to come forward with would have completely gone against the stories of his friends who had claimed self-defense. If Ray got the chance to testimony, the odds are very high that both Joseph Sweeting and Reginald Oakley would still be in prison to this day. Instead, all charges on both Sweeting and Oakley were dropped. What may be the single most strange moment of all of this, though, was that the white suit that Ray Lewis was wearing that night was never found. One would think that the suit you wear the night you win the Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP to go with that is something that you wouldn't just mysteriously lose. It's safe to say that after all of this, Ray Lewis and these 2 men were no longer friends. Oakley even dropped a rap track stating that he should have stabbed Ray Lewis that night as well. This whole story is incredibly strange, and we may never know the truth behind what happened that night, but as for what I believe, I personally don't believe that Ray Lewis murdered anyone. I just think that he was in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. That doesn't make Ray Lewis 100% innocent, though, because as a professional athlete, you should definitely surround yourself with better influences and better friends. I just wish I did know what happened that night, but the truth may never come out. What we do know about Ray Lewis, though, is that he is one of the best defensive football players that has ever played the game, and I think it's safe to say that for all of us, especially as fans, we wish that this incident had never happened and therefore never allowed our judgment of one of our role models, one of our heroes, to be clouded.
If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel as well. A lot more of this type of content is going to be coming from me just because it's fascinating and I feel like a lot of people are interested in it. So subscribe to me and like this video. It means the world, and it would show me that you guys did enjoy it and you want more, and just know to expect more of it. I really appreciate you guys. This took a lot of time, so I really appreciate each and every one of you that leaves a like and subs to my channel. So I hope you guys come back for the next one. You guys have an awesome one. I'm out.